What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is well this afternoon. We're a little early. I was actually going to wait till about 3 o'clock to start this thing, but I didn't. I feel like my voice might be a little bit off. So if my voice is not in sync, let me know in the chat. Looking at myself back, normally I'm not this delayed. So I hope everyone's well. If you did not see, maybe judging by the title of this, there's a few things planned. Thank you, everybody. Sometimes we gotta set this audio up to delay, and it gets out of sync, and it's a little weird. So yeah, I don't know if anyone could tell, but hopefully you did. Maybe by the title of this video, I want to talk about GoSports, pro paintball in the NXL, and some things that I think that could make it a little bit more fun to watch, possibly. What else we gonna talk about? We have JT Team Pants over there. We're gonna take a first quick little glance at the HK Army track pants somewhere around. They're also right there. There's a pair of vintage air pants over there. The brand new version 4. Roman numeral, is that a 4? Yep, that's a 4. Yeah, so we might look at those, but I didn't really plan on that, so maybe not. We also want to talk about GoSports, JT Team Pants, HK Army track pants, and that's probably all. One thing I always like to do, not always, but this is a new thing when we've started these, is to kind of talk about, not that, that's going to be talked about later, ruined clips. So one thing that I've started is a new channel to kind of aggregate cool things, questions, or highlight things that we do during these live streams. So if you search ruined clips on YouTube, you can find the new channel. You do that, you subscribe, and then those are right there. Like this one right here from about 2 weeks ago. It's just, I don't know, little things that are probably interesting from the streams, so you don't have to watch the whole goddamn thing. I mean, because this thing can get an hour and a half, hour long sometimes, and it's really long. So making these a little bit more digestible clips, hopefully, honestly, generates more traffic. It helps this thing grow even more. So you do look for ruined clips, or there's a link in the description to this. You can just go right to it. It's not hard to find. I feel like we blast that public service announcement out really quick, because one thing I want to do is try to get 2 channels monetized. I really worry about YouTube shutting one of the channels down and then having no channel. That would be unfortunate. So that's one reason why we have 2 channels. Yeah. What's this? Saline Carp asks, thoughts on all pro moves or something like that. I don't even know where your comment went. Thoughts on all the team changes? I don't know. I haven't really thought about it yet. I feel like every single day there's some new pro person switching teams. Just a minute ago we were talking about Mike Urena joining Dynasty. I think that's good. I think that's a good change for Dynasty. What I was saying earlier is I think Urena going to Dynasty is really Dynasty looking for new Snake players, right? They're getting old, right? All their dudes that play Snake are in their 30s. So trying to get newer, younger, fresh players that can stay around in that program for 10 years, I think is what Dynasty's probably doing by picking up Urena. And I think that's a good thing. I think that he lives in that area. He's from that Phoenix, Southern California area. So I think that fits well for him. So I don't know. There's so many teams, right? Infamous is completely changing their roster. Revo's gone. They're calling themselves 187 Crew. PC Katana's losing people. And it's getting all weird. So I don't really have a thought about it yet. I think that there's so many changes that what I want to do is before NXL Las Vegas, a week beforehand, let's just gather up all the pro changes, roster moves. Maybe there's new sponsors. Maybe there's teams that are playing leagues that aren't playing other leagues or something. I want to just talk about all of that in one big encompassing video where we talk about all the pro paintball stuff. Rennick. Howdy, sir. What'd you say? The retro line of Inception autocars. What about it? Overall good stuff. Yeah. I would say so. I know there's some people that don't like Inception autocockers. And I don't know why. I mean, like, I see, like, the free flow cockers might be cooler, and, like, you know, building yourself a gun or whatever is cooler. But the Inception stuff's made really, really good. So I think the Inception stuff's made stellarly. And I think that's what's important to me, especially when we're, like, looking at old cocker stuff, right? I chipped my deal earlier. There's a big crack in my glass. Yeah, I think when looking at cocker stuff, especially with these mechanical guns, right, where there's not a lot of, like, new technology built into them. I think for me, when I'm looking at that stuff, that's what I want, right? I want, like, really good build quality. And the Inception stuff's just built well, right? I mean, it's just quality stuff. And let's not forget, Simon Stevens, who made that gun, is also building, like, a lot of autococker stuff. Not building, helped to design autococker stuff, helped to build that Empire Resurrection and the Empire Sniper. Made the Halo 2, sort of. I think the Halo. Maybe it was the Magna? I don't remember. So yeah. Parker Sorensen says, do you think Planet Eclipse can make a cheaper version of the CS2? $300? No. It's called the ETHA 2. They've already done it. Yeah. They kind of do, right? I mean, they kind of have that, right? They don't have a $300 version, but they have a $400 version. They have a mechanical version. They really do, right? So they have a mechanical $200 version. They have an electronic $400 version. They have a, I think, $699. Is it $699? I always forget the price of the M170R. They have the 170R, and then they have the CS2. It's like they got like 6 guns that are kind of all the same thing. Just like different price levels. And then different, like, operating mechanisms, we'll say. Like, some of them are mechanical and some of them are electric. Do I like the Cronus? I do. I think the Cronus is one of the best The Cronus is like the best cheap, inexpensive paintball gun. Rennick, he built the warp feed? I had no idea. Really? Seriously, interesting. I didn't know that. The warp feed, the airgun design warp feed. So funny thing, I want to start a video. This will be good. We're gonna see. This is a good thing we can do for these clip things. So I want to start a video. Not start a video. We're gonna, like, start planning a video where I want to talk about, like, the biggest paintball flops. So, like, maybe cool products that we are all excited about that, like, just didn't work out. Maybe vaporware style products, things that were gonna come out but never actually released. So I want to, like, make a video about all the cool paintball stuff that, like, never was, or, like, maybe was but never, like, reached its full potential. And one of the things that I was thinking about was the airgun design warp feed. The warp feed was, like, really neat. It's a very funky product. You actually, like, put a hopper on top of this, like, spinning thing. The hopper went into, like, a wheel, and then this wheel, like, fed paint through a hose and into your gun. It's kind of crazy. But it's hard to kind of put into that video, right? I wouldn't say that it was a product flop, because they were definitely making them and selling the things and people were using them. And it wasn't vaporware because it actually was, you know, people actually used it. So I don't think it fits in that video, but I think that it kind of does, right? Because everybody was so excited about the warp feed, and it was, like, going to change the way you used a paintball gun. And it never really did. It never really caught on. So I think the warp feed might go into that category, but, like, I couldn't think of any other products. So if you guys are watching this, leave a comment below of maybe a product that you think that, like, was a flop or a failure, or some vaporware thing. So say, like, the Empire HUD system for the EVS. The EVS HUD, someone literally just said in a comment right there, I think that was a good one. A lot of you people are saying that. Or the Angel Eyes, right? Angel made that mask back in the day that never really came about. Tiberius Arms tried to do it, still didn't work. So I think that, like, those for sure are good products. The HUD and Angel Eyes, but I can't think of anything else. So leave a comment below or something. Because I want to, like, I don't know, I thought this would be kind of a fun video to watch. The NXE Journey was another one. Yeah, that's another wonky, weird product that never really came about. Yeah. force feeding hoppers. Yep. Sosa baby. Yep, we talked about Mike Urena earlier. I know we heard like rumors of like Mike Urena leaving, or Dynasty wanting Mike Urena, but I don't know. Yeah, good news. Okay, so we are going to get into GoSports. This is something that I have kind of wanted to talk about. We're going to hide a bunch of this stuff because... Okay, so this is... I wouldn't say this is something I've wanted to talk about. I feel like I'm low. I don't like my current position. The Zealot. The Zealot. Oh, yeah. The GI Sports Radar. The RDR. The GI Sports RDR, I think. The radar. Didn't they just call it that? The radar? Why am I blanking on the name of that thing? The RDR. Hydrotech. That's a really good one. Hydrotech paintballs. Okay. We're going to move on, though. Hydrotech's a good one. I was all excited about Hydrotech when they announced that thing. Okay, so first I want to like preface this. So we're going to talk about GoSports for a while. I want to talk about things that, I just think that could be cooler on the webcast, and maybe a couple things that like I've noticed other sports leagues implementing that I think are fairly simple to do, that I would maybe think GoSports could do. And I want to say this also, that like when I talk about this stuff, right? Like I say that I don't like the coverage of GoSports, or I think that GoSports could be better, or I think that this sucks, or like this brand's terrible, or like this product's bad, or like, whatever. I understand that like we're all just people doing this, right? And this is never is me saying something's bad or like I don't like something an attack on a person, right? Because I'm fully aware that like there are many things on this channel that I probably like do or make videos that people don't like, or I say things that are just completely wrong sometimes or whatever, but I'm not a bad person because of that, right? Like, and I know that like the people that work at GoSports or GI or Planet Eclipse or whatever company, they're not bad people. The product they made might just not be as good as it can be or whatever. So in no way is me like saying things that I like or dislike about GoSports like a personal attack on people. Let's just say that. Because I got nothing against the people. Like I know like one person that works there. So I don't know any of these people. It's not like I personally know people there. So let's just get that out of the way. There's no like personal thing about this. So let's just say one of the things that I find difficult when watching paintball is I find it really difficult to kind of know what's going on, right? When we're watching the webcast, I don't know where players are at. I think I know the body count, right? Like I think it's a 4-on-5 because sometimes GoSports, they're good about filling us in on that. Sometimes they're not. I don't know where players are looking, and we essentially don't know what's happening, right? So one thing that I would like to try to see is two things, right? Like two things that could help us like better watch matches and maybe like, I don't know, just understand what's going on better. And I also understand that this is certainly going to take effort, and not even effort, it's going to take money and time. So some of these things probably aren't realistic for them to implement. Some of them might be too cost effective or cost ineffective or cost something. But what I would like to see is some sort, this is the wonky setup so we can see my face. I'm going to switch to like a bigger view of this. You'll be able to see it better. So this is kind of what I talked about a couple weeks ago, Counter-Strike. So this is kind of what we're seeing when we're watching Counter-Strike. So if you're watching Counter-Strike competitively played, the video game, this is a common view. So we're seeing here, I'll go to the big view. What we're seeing here is both teams, right? On the far left, you're seeing Dynasty's roster, as well as who's alive and who is not. And on the other side, we're seeing AC Dallas, who's alive and who's not. So those highlighted players are alive, and those like grayed out or the darker colored players are all dead. I think that this allows us to see instantly kind of who's alive and who is not. Much better, I think, than the 3 little dot system or the dot system they're using now, where it's showing like 5 and 4 if it's a 5-on-4. And then up in that top right corner, also kind of hard to see because of this small screen. But if you were looking at it on like a phone or something else like that, you would be able to see this map a little bit better. And I'm going to actually, this might get kind of weird looking, but we're going to zoom in on this a little bit better. So what we can see right there, in that bottom left, this part actually might even be a little bit harder to see. There we go. So huge. So right there we have all 5 Dynasty players, right? And one thing that I think would be really interesting is if we also included stats in this window. So we can see that the amount of rounds they've shot, where it says RDS, that's going to be the paint that they've shot in that point. Keeping track of paint shot and quantity of paint is just keeping track of trigger pulls. That's something that the MPL, I should say the NPPL did a number of years ago. So we know that you can put an RF transmitter in line with the solenoid or battery or something like that, and we can keep track of shots. I know that it can't be done and it's hard to implement on current guns, but if this was something that the league said to manufacturers or something like that, they could plan it out, right? So in a year from now, we could be tracking shots. I don't think it can happen like 2020, but it's something that is possible and doable. And there's also kill to death ratio on there. So you can see that KD ratio and just kind of like what's happening here. So we have rounds shot, kill death ratio, and who's alive. This just adds more information to the screen so we can have more to watch. And these streams are just not as boring. And then up in that right corner or that top left corner, I'll make this even bigger, we have that map. So you can know where the players are. So this would indicate where players are during the actual matches. So we can see Dynasty here has 3 guys alive, and then which directions they're shooting. It's just going to say left or right. I mean, we're not going to be like super precise with this. You have to be like monitoring every single player all the time. And the hardest part about this is probably going to be the manpower, right? You're probably going to have to dedicate one person to watching a monitor to determine where the players are at and then place those players on the screen. So all this can be done through telestration. There's definitely software out there that would just allow you to put little dots on the screen. You just like tap a tablet with the layout and it would allow you to place these dots accurately. Yeah. So I know that this looks difficult, right? You look at that screen and you wonder to yourself like, how are they gonna do that? But it's really truly simple, right? So we need top-down camera angle. So we need a camera that's looking straight down at the field, right? You'd think drone angle, right? You just launch a drone in the air, shoot straight down, and then you can see player movement wherever those players are going on the field. But like then you gotta have a drone pilot and like you gotta worry about keeping the thing in the air and all that stuff. So what I think the easiest thing to do, and I've wanted to actually implement this if I had a team as well. So what I would do is do something that I did not put the picture in here for. So we got to open up something real quick here. Hopefully we don't like weird out the okay, bear with me. I don't know why I did not prepare this. Okay, so what I would like, and what I think would work, we're going to do a super ghetto, is we're going to, I don't know what I'm doing here. We're having all kinds of problems. Hold on. Okay, so this is the layout, right? So this is that same layout that, well, this is actually a different layout, but say we're looking at the layout, right? And this is the layout, say that whatever, this is the layout. And you can see those 2 yellow lines going across that screen, right? So top to bottom, those are actually cables. So we could say in real life, we could suspend cables directly across the field, right? And you would put 2 GoPros there. That's what those circles are, or those like, square blocks. GoPros looking straight down right there at about 75 feet in the air would be able to cover that much field. So everywhere you see in that green right there is actually, golly, everywhere you see in green right there would actually be GoPro coverage. So you'd have to look at one monitor and you could watch both GoPros on one screen. It'd be really easy to put both those feeds together and then you just have it on one monitor so you know exactly where everybody's at one time. All you gotta do is take HDMI cables from each of those GoPros, plug them into an encoder, and bam, you got video. So you gotta get an HDMI cable, power cables, which is, you know, all easy, simple stuff. So like with about $3,000, I'll bet $3,500 I could do that. It's really not awfully hard. You just have to get the GoPros, HDMI cables, the power cables, encoder. I mean, you could do it. It's truly not hard. And I also think that this would be very, very useful to any paintball teams, right? To be able to record your actual matches looking like straight down on the field. You could determine why players didn't go places, why someone started shooting at some bunker that no one was at. You're like, why are you looking left when we told you guys were on this side of the field? You have to be looking right when you're in this position. Yeah. So I think that adding some of those on-screen things, like that map right there, or just in general, golly, I'm just having all kinds of problems right now. There's got to be a better way to like resize this. I don't know. I don't know how. Yeah, I just think having this on-screen information, whether it was that map, player counts, that score, whatever it is, the more information I think we can have on the screen, the more people are actually going to watch, and I think the more interesting the matches and games could be. So I think that there's definitely room for improvement in the webcasts. Yeah, and I just want to see it. I want paintball. I wrote my notes to myself. I said, so I've been doing paintball for a very long time. I was around when it was on Fox Sports, ESPN, Outdoor Life Network. And I wrote a bunch of other stuff just to like gather thoughts. Because like I remember when paintball was cool, right? I remember when like it was an aspirational thing, when like people wanted to be cool and play paintball and it was fun. And I want paintball to get back to that point. And I think by making some changes to the webcast, we can maybe start reaching or at least trying to get back to that point. Yeah. I don't know. There's also three other things that I think that GoSports needs to do. I think that one of the things that the NFL or the NBA started doing this year, and obviously the NBA is not GoSports or the NXL, but one thing they started doing this year is taking a complete game, right? So say the Thunder play the Heat, right? It's 2 hours long. Some people can't watch the whole 2 hour long game, right? But you're interested, you're a fan. So they're taking that game and just literally taking the highlights and the clips and just making it. And they're just taking the highlight clips and just making a whole like video out of it. So they're making the whole game into 10 minutes and then just putting it on YouTube. There's no crazy graphics or voiceover or anything. I think that's something that the NXL could implement and GoSports could implement this year. Like starting the first event of the year, every single match that's in the finals, or every match that's not in the finals, but on Sunday, take those, make them all 10-minute little segments. So this is something I wanted to do. I reached out to GoSports and actually asked and requested to see if I could do this and just do it myself. Nobody replied. I didn't get any sort of email back or anything. Yeah. So actually, in the description of this video, there is a link to a video that I put together of the finals from World Cup. It's about 12, 13 minutes long, I think. Only of the finals, only like the scoring points and like the top plays and stuff like that. You can really get an idea of how the whole thing played out by watching that video. So if you want to see how that's implemented, definitely check a link in the description of this video. I think it's a good idea and something that GoSports needs to do. And in the meantime, while they're doing that, they can be uploading more content to YouTube and growing YouTube. Because YouTube is the place now where video exists on the internet. And GoSports needs to be more active on YouTube. I also think being more active on Twitch makes a lot of sense, right? So we're trying to attract new players, and most of those times in industry when we're trying to attract new customers, it's going to be customers in like that 18 to like 40-ish demographic, because those are the people buying things. And I think a good way to attract those new people is through Twitch. I think streaming more stuff on Twitch, getting paintball into that video game community where we're kind of playing video games in real life makes a lot of sense. So I think that streaming and giving away more content so more people can see it on Twitch makes a lot of freaking sense. So I don't know. I think that GoSports can do a much better job. But I do understand that that has to do with manpower and money. So it's difficult if they don't have tons of money. Yep. So that's my spiel on GoSports. Yeah. I just want paintball to be better. I want paintball to be awesome. And I think it can be, right? I think that we just have to want it to be, right? We got to put effort in and actually try. I know. It sounds crazy, guys. It sounds absolutely crazy. Everyone just saying how awful I am. Yep. I don't know about Facebook. Someone said, and Facebook. I don't know about Facebook. I think that they're really good at Facebook. But the problem is young people are not on Facebook. And if we're looking to improve and grow paintball, we need young people, not more old people. It's the same thing I've said about, like, I love how 10-man's coming back, right? I love how new old people are coming back to paintball that haven't played in 10, 15 years. But they're old people. You know, they're people my age. When I'm at this age, I'm 35, right? I'm not buying lots of stuff. Most of all the purchasing and buying happens from younger people. So to keep paintball alive and growing and making new products and stuff like that, we need people to buy those products. And those people are younger players. They're not people in their 50s who played in the 80s. I mean, that's true. So I want new people. Yep. My freaking neck hurts too. How do I do with my neck? Justin, blind layouts. But I don't know. Like, okay. Like, that's the thing that's, like, bothers me, too, is we always talk about, like, oh, if we switch to limited paint, it's going to make paintball 15 times popular. None of these little things matter, right? None of them matter. Like, switching to blind layouts, switching to 10-man, making it unlimited paint, making it limited paint, switching the rate of fire by 2 balls a second, and, like, none of that matters. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. I don't think that, like, we're gonna switch all those rules and then you're gonna have 5 times as fun playing paintball now. Like, that's just not gonna happen. I think that tweaking rules and changing stuff's not a bad thing, but if we're looking for overarching change and growth in paintball, switching these little teeny things is not gonna matter. Because Billy's mom is not gonna like go have a birthday party now because the NXL switched to limited paint. You know, like, that's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. So yeah. Old Man Paintball says, I don't want to pay for a subscription to go to GoSports, but I would pay $20 for a weekend of paintball tournament broadcast. Dude, I'm 100% on with you on that, dude. What's funny is, like, I hate subscription fees, despise them, because, like, I'm like, well, I'm not watching it. I hate paying for it. But I hate it. So I'm with you. I'd rather pay $20 and be done with it. And, like, here's $20. I'm good for 3 days or whatever. I like that. But I definitely know that GoSports like that consistent monthly income thing. But it is weird, right? Like, we were paying like $10, so you pay $10 a month or something. I don't know, $120 a year, but you pay $20 per event, and there's 5 events, so it's $100. You know, it's not like it's even that much more money, but it's that psychological thing of me like, oh, God damn, they're taking money out of my bank account every time. I hate that. I'm with you, though. Justin, I think blind layouts would show more skill over who practiced the layout the most. I don't think so. I don't think it matters at all. I really don't. I think that... So let's say that, right? So like say if... Then the better teams still win, though. You know, like the better teams still win. So even in the Pro Division, if we just didn't release layouts, I mean, Dynasty, Impact, Heat, Red Legion, you know, Damage, X Factor, those teams are all going to be good still. You know? I am with you, though. I like the idea of blind layouts. Just like thinking about it like that. But there's far more that goes into that. So it's difficult to like just say that blind layouts are the answer or whatever. I'm with you. I mean, I liked going to tournaments back in the day and having to walk the fields and like figure out what we were going to do. Yeah, I like it. So I don't think it's a bad idea. Thoughts on Kevin Foot's cheap blowback tournament? I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I wouldn't have done it. I mean, it's hard, right? We talk about this stuff like I would never have done that because I am not that person. I don't know. It's just not for me. I'm sure it's fun. I'm sure it's great, but it's just not for me. I don't know. That's all. Any chance of reviewing the 2019 Vapor? Probably not. I don't see it happening. Brad, have you heard anything about the NPL? Probably not, but just curious. Nope. Nothing. There's nothing to say. It's dead. Yep. It's been dead for like ever. Okay, so we got something else around here. We can talk about these. I'm going to put this laptop over here. We're going to move mousey mouse. So I got these the other day. Like 3 days ago. 4 days ago. The 2019 JTT pants makes me feel like it's 2006. Yeah. So the JT Team Pants, these were a popular paintball pant way back in 2006. I think they came out in late 2004. Definitely 2006, 7 or something like that when they were very popular. Old man paintball, I much appreciate that. I think Superchats are super, super cool because I am super broke and need money. It's true. I appreciate that stuff, guys. I really do. It's super, super appreciated. Yeah, JT Team Pants. So these are, these were a very popular paintball pant in the mid-2000s. I don't really know why they were popular. They were just trendy, right? They didn't have any like cool features. They weren't like lighter weight or more durable or anything. They were just cool, right? There were a bunch of neat colors. They were like bright pink ones, and some people made white ones. Like people were actually taking them apart and like removing this fabric and adding their own like colors and stuff. They were very, very popular. So I think with the current trends in like fashion and in like design world, the 90s are for sure coming back, and like all that nostalgic stuff is sort of popular again. So I think that that's what the goal was with these things. Make them like cool, get all those nostalgic old people that are coming back to paintball, and I don't know, sell some stuff. Slarion 1. I don't know how to pronounce that. Another one of those things, guys. I love this. Thank you very much. Merry Christmas. We're putting the Christ back in Christmas. I saw a sign that the other day, and I was like, well, yeah, that's what Christmas is. I appreciate it. Thank you. So anyway, these things, yeah, I lost my train of thought. But they were very popular. So they're trying to bring back that nostalgic look and just like make, I don't know, paintball interesting and like have some cool looking stuff. So what's weird to me, right, is that paintball like that long ago, right? Paintball 10 years ago, I feel like everything was kind of shitty, right? Hoppers kind of sucked, guns kind of sucked, tanks were tanks, all the pads kind of sucked. Most of the stuff was bad, right? I remember my Shocker SFTs never working. My Intimidators were, I don't know, they shot, but they weren't that great. The halo was goddamn awful. The view loader velocity was terrible. And you know what? I kind of remember these pants being awful. You know, I really remember the knees ripping all the time. And like, they were just weird, big, and heavy, right? So what JT did was remade some big, old, heavy pants and tried to make them a little bit lighter. So you can see they're freaking huge. I mean, the knee pad is still a monstrous thing. I mean, it's like the size of my waist almost, which is sort of crazy. So they're definitely big. They're very light though, so they made them lighter weight, so they're not as heavy and using that satiny material on the, like, I don't know, pant pad area. But I don't get it, right? Like, so they made these pants like big. They're huge. Like, the knees are just so wide. I mean, they fit like a pant that nobody wants. Nobody wants big pants anymore. And what's crazier is there are so many good value pants out there. Like, the HK Army pants are awesome, right? And they're half the price, not half the price. You can get their track pants, their jogger, like retro pants for $100. Their hardline pants are better. The Exalt pants are better. I mean, those new Infamous pants are better. The Eclipse pants are better. Like, everything's better. I don't understand. Those pants have more features. They're cheaper. The quality's better. I don't know. Just everything's better about them. And I think that my biggest problem with these is that they used very lightweight material and then didn't really stitch it well. It just does not look like it's going to hold up, right? It's stitched one ply everywhere. So I feel like if I grabbed like the crotch on these, I could just rip them apart. There's like no stretch at all in them. Like that's going to rip. Like, I could just rip the crotch out right now. So they're cool looking if you really want that nostalgic look, but they're not the best quality. So I don't know. I don't quite understand. I'm just kind of like lost on that whole thing. I think that there maybe was an opportunity to bring back that nostalgic look, but make them a little bit smaller. And like, they've got like that massive knee pad. Like, people that are spending $150, $130 on pants like those they're not $150, they're $130. I don't think that they want those. And I think that we want more features, right? Like, they literally don't have anything. Like, they're literally just pants. There's no like cool ventilation or stretchy spots or anything. I don't know. They just seem very expensive and I don't understand it. Yeah. They could have made them smaller knee pads. They could have added more stretch material, more ventilation, used higher quality materials, done a bunch of stuff to make them actually cool. Because if those were like a smaller fit and like higher quality and maybe a little bit thicker in the crotch area, I think that I would like them. But they're not. They're just old and weird. I don't understand. And it's also odd. Like, I was thinking about that. Normally when we're recommending like pants with padding on the knees, like big heavy knee padding, it's because people want protection, right? So they want thicker like groin protection. You want like a little bit of padding on the sides and stuff. But the team pants have none of that. It's just like super lightweight all at the top, right? Like, that's the whole top of the pant. You know, like in my hand, which is great. I mean, it makes them lightweight and I think comfortable. But people, again, right, when they want big pads like this, I think want more padding than just on the knees. So, I don't know. I'm skeptical. I had a pair of red ones like that back in the day. Everybody had them. They just weren't that good of pants to begin with. They were just popular. But that's because everything sucked back then. Anyway. That's some ideas and thoughts on those JT team pants. Someone said, what happened to my Cocker build? My Cocker build was sold. I sold it. Or we raffled it on this channel, sort of, in the Facebook group. There was a raffle taking place. Very wrinkly face. Yeah, so I also, what else I find very odd about these pants is like, when I put them on, this size small fits me the best. So like, small. You'll guys see, I'm going to do a whole review on these. I'm going to shoot this review tomorrow, so we'll probably see an actual video about that in a couple weeks. So yeah, I wear a small, which is very weird. And then we've got these, the HK Army track pant, which I am a fan of. I like these so far. So these are really just a pant. There's really nothing special about these things. They're literally just pants, right? There's no knee pads, there's no padding. But there's, I think in key areas, they've added some good fabric. So this is just like typical polyester, like jogger material. This is like, if you got some like, you know, snap pants from the 70s that your like dad played basketball in or something like that. Those are gonna be like that. And then they put that like, I don't know, like Cordera or whatever they're calling that fabric on the knees. So this section is all that tougher fabric. And that's about all. The rest of it's all that lightweight material. There's some ventilation in the back, which I really like. It's got zipper pockets. Fan of the zipper pockets. It's got 2 pod swabs on the back. And they're very, very comfortable, which I like a lot. But the sizing is also crazy, right? Like with these, they're just so short. Like this is an extra large. And it's a 34 to 38. And this is the size that I wear. So it's for sure too big on my waist, but the length, it's like the only one that fits lengthwise. And I actually like that they're a little bit bigger in the crotch area. I feel like if these were normal pants, they would be very weird because they've definitely made and added a bunch more material to the crotch area. I think that's because a lot of the guys like myself are wearing the slider shorts. And when I wear slider shorts, my crotch area kind of bags up and gets all, not bags up. It just, there's not enough material sometimes there, and it's super tight on like my legs and my ass and stuff. So I like how on these, the HK Army track pant, they added more material to that crotch, like upper leg area, so that they're not so skin tight. So I like those much more than those team pants because they're $30 cheaper. And they're just kind of more of a unique product. The team pants are just weird. Like if I was to make paintball pants in 1998, that's what they'd be, the JT team pants. But it's not 1988, so there's that problem. Yeah. I don't know. So I'm a fan. Sizing's a little weird. What size did you go with as someone who is also 6'4", Brad asks, for the HK pants? I think that matters your waist more so, right? They're super short. They're not gonna fit you. So if you want them to be like long, they're not gonna work. For sure. They're just not gonna work. Yep. Any size. All the sizes are gonna be too short. So Brad, what I would do is if you're not looking for pants like now, and you're curious about those track pants, maybe you got like a month to wait, just wait, because I'm going to do a review and I will talk about the length and show more videos and how they fit me a little bit better. Yep. I think, Justin says he thinks that the under joggers are the best value. Yeah, I've not seen those actually. There's a lot of pants out there that I've not seen. There's a lot of this, like, a lot of smaller manufacturers in the last like 2 years have started making pants that I just haven't seen. Right, like the social pants, I haven't seen those. I haven't seen those infamous pants yet. Mainly just because there's a lot of pants, right? There's just all of a sudden this like onslaught of different pants. Bobby T, I don't know. You said Jinko style stuck around in paintball for a little too long. Yeah, for sure. 100%, dude. 100%. One of the things that's good about being tall, or bad, I mean, I could never really get pants that were really baggy. They just don't work because they just don't make them long enough. So like I'd have to get normal, they just fit like normal pants on me. So even like these really big pants, once they wear in on me, Kevin Callie Rudolph, I asked Travis for some a while ago. I asked Travis for, I can't remember. I asked him for pants, knee pads, elbow pads, and I think the slider pant. I honestly can't remember. I think it was just the slider pant thing. I think you guys did slider. I get so confused. All these pants coming out. Yeah, I wanted to do a video on various things. I asked Travis for him a while ago, but I don't want to re-ask him. I hate to be that guy who's bugging people and being like, give me free stuff. But I wanted to talk about him. I wanted to, like, I don't know. I'm just very happy that Infamous, I'm very happy that Infamous, dude, yeah, I understand. I understand how Travis is crazy busy. That's also why I never really bother anyone. You know, I asked once, and if it works out, it works out. If not, if not. But I really would like to talk about this stuff, or, you know, review this stuff. I think it makes sense. I'm pretty sure, so Kevin, I'm pretty sure, Callie, I don't know what to call you. Let's call you Mr. Rudolph. Because I'm pretty sure that if you guys sent me one pair of pants at your guys' cost, right? So, yeah, I could guess on cost. I'm pretty sure you sell at least one pair. And if you give away one pair of pants and sell 2 pairs of pants, I'm positive someone makes money. Positive. I'm positive someone makes money. So it just makes sense. I don't know. Kevin, I know, it sounded weird when I was like, Kevin. That's why I was like, that's how he said it out. That's because I just read your name. You gotta change this to Callie. Yeah, so I'm very sorry, Richard. Richard, I appreciate that super chat, sir. Again, guys, honestly, super chats are one of the reasons that I do these things. Super chats help fund this channel and fund my life, so I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm just happy. Richard, yes, thank you, dude. I do appreciate it. I really do. So anyway, I am happy that, like, Infamous, like Callie and Travis and all you guys, and like Dynasty with Brian and Yosh and Alex and Oliver, I am very happy that both teams and groups of people are making their own products, right? I think that we look at these paintball teams, and you guys have no idea how hard it is to get money, right? Like, it's just hard, right? Like, getting money to fund a team or, like, just in life, right, is difficult. So I'm very happy that Infamous and Dynasty are kind of taking stuff into their own hands and trying to make more money than, like, their sponsors are offering or whatever. I don't know. That sounded weird. But I'm very happy with that stuff, yeah. I know Travis Lemansky from Infamous. That's been his, like, jam forever. Travis has always been, like, making stuff and doing things. And me too. Like, that's always been my jam, is making and selling stuff and doing things. That's kind of how this channel came about. Hopefully we have more things to do and sell on here soon, though. Oh, no. We're trying to get merch. I'm trying to get more Paintball Ruin My Life merch, but it's a difficult thing. Yeah. So I don't know. What else we got? I got, I don't know what I talk about. We wanted to talk about GoSports. We've talked about that. We talked about the team pants. We talked about the track pants. Yeah. About all. We should say that some of this stuff that, if you're interested, a lot of these things I buy to do reviews on, and then I don't know what to do with them afterwards. So, like, this stuff, right? The team pants and, like, the track pants, right? I might keep those track pants because I like them. But there's a lot of things around here that, like, I don't know what to do with, right? Like, there's HK Army camera mounts I have that I don't know what to do with because I have, like, 2 pairs of. I have a pair of HK pads. I have an extra Spire 3 that I don't know what to do with. So on the Paintball Ruin My Life website, I'm going to just start putting that stuff up there. So if you ever, like, see something in a review or something and want to buy it for some reason, paintballruinmylife.com /shop. And I'm just going to start putting the random weird things I have on there for sale. I've been doing that and no one's bought anything, so I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know what to do with this stuff. I hate eBay because they take like 50%. And it's a pain in the ass to sell it, so I don't know. So if you want to buy some stuff, you know. T-Sauce PB. Well, yeah, I'll have them. I mean, I need them now. I gotta at least wait till I finish their review. But then again, I might keep them, so. I don't know. I'm unsure yet. Talk about how HK put their Justin, get some more coffee. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Coffee. Okay, so I've had 2 of these. This is number 2 today. That's that much coffee. I'm pretty sure this is 64 ounces. No, that's not 64 ounces. I don't know. That much coffee today. 2 of these. So I had 2 of these and 2 grande coffees at Starbucks. It's too much. I appreciate it, Justin. Talk about how HK put their name on high-end markers. Is it worth it for resale value? Probably not. I don't think so. I think that, yeah, that is a weird thing, right? Because, so let's say that, right? Like the CS2 used decaf. God no, Brandon. I actually have a tattoo on my leg that says "Death Before Decaf." No, I do. You can't see it though, because it's way high and I got pants on. Yeah. Yeah, weird thing, right? So CS2 is that like the CS2 used is what? $700, $800, $900? I don't know, somewhere in there. And you could get a Twister CS2 for like $2,000. They're like double the used price because they're rare and desirable. But honestly, I think that the Twister guns have like more mystique and more like interestingness about them. Like there's more rarity and like more exclusivity because they're limited in colors. They're just more limitedness. So I think that maybe those guns over the HK guns are probably going to have a higher resale value. I mean, the HK guns might have like $80 more or $100 more higher resale, but probably not. It's not going to be anything crazy like we're seeing with the Twister. The Twisters are overrated. Well, sure. I don't know. To you, maybe. To me, I just think it's a paintball gun. I don't really care so much about what they look like. So who knows? Callie! What do you think about the new milling on the infamous CS2 DNA markers? I actually really like those. So I'm not a huge fan of the skull on the back. I don't know. Well, let's say that. I think that using the skull in branding consistently with like the skull logo on like the HK pack and the skull logo on the back of the gun 100% makes total sense. Fantastic idea. The branding is excellent. Excellent. But I don't know about this skull. It's just not me, right? Like, I just don't like it. I'm not a fan of the skull, but I think that the milling on the new gun looks way better than the old one. But I thought the old one looked good too. Yeah, I like the newer one more though, although I can't visualize it, but I just remember thinking that I liked it more. But then again, I also like the CS2 Pro milling more than the CS2. I really like that like clean, minimal design. I don't like the skull. I think that it's impressive. I think it's a very good idea. It's an excellent placement for the skull. And a lot of people like it. I mean, I've talked to people in real life about those guns. Yeah. But it's good. I always talk about how bad paintball players and paintball teams are at advertising themselves and marketing themselves and actually making money. And Infamous, I consistently use as an example of that good marketing, advertising, branding prowess that so many of the other companies are so bad about. The custom Mandalorian back cap. That kind of looks like the infamous CS2 back cap. You should, not the infamous one, I'm sorry. The HK, God, I get the guns confused. Not Area 51, the HK Invader CS2. Weird is that JT also made an Invader back in the day. The back cap on the Invader kind of looks like a Mandalorian head. The Mandalorian. Quick poll. How many of you have watched The Mandalorian? And how many of you are watching it legally? If you are watching The Mandalorian legally, or no, if you are watching The Mandalorian illegally, post something in the live chat. I'm just curious. The Mandalorian's a really good show, but yep. Legally, watching it all legally. It's very good. I don't know. I mean, like, it's good. It's not Breaking Bad good. It's also not like Star Trek Next Generation good. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, Star Trek is so much cooler than Star Wars. But I was like, not really. Like, I like Star Trek more. Way more. But, like, Star Wars is so much cooler. I mean, you got, like, way cooler characters with way cooler guns, and the scenes are way cooler. And, like, Star Trek's just a bunch of nerds. Really. Star Wars, you got, like, badasses and stuff. Everyone's watching it. Have I seen the movie yet? No, that just came out yesterday, right? I don't really watch movies. I watched 6 Underground the other day. DS9. DS9's not bad. Deep Space Nine's good. Yeah, I mean, Deep Space Nine's good. Deep Space... Talk about, like, Star Trek. I see, feels like every couple weeks I talk about Star Trek. Yeah, Deep Space Nine's good. Although the new Picard show, is it the movie or show? I don't even know. Who knows? I'm all about it. Let's talk about paintball stuff. Zach asked, carbon fiber tip. Zach asked, carbon fiber tip can be scratched by dirt trapped in barrel swab. So durability goes to aluminum. True. What about stainless steel? Have you seen the new series Another Life on Netflix? No, I have not. I have no idea what that is. I don't really watch too much TV either. I used to watch more TV shows. I did watch Game of Thrones last week because I got really sick. I watched Game of Thrones in 2 days. The last season. It was okay. I don't know why people are so mad at the end of Game of Thrones. Like, what'd you expect? Anyway. Do you think we will see a pure carbon fiber barrel as it threaded inserts everything carbon fiber? What makes you think we haven't seen it already? Renex says, oh heavens. I have stainless steel old school barrels which weigh a ton. Unbreakable, but woof, the weight. Yeah, for sure. You know what I want is I keep getting Mark Ayers, none of you know Mark Ayers. Mark Ayers works for First Strike. Mark has been telling me for years that he's going to give me a 14-inch die stainless steel barrel that's 685. That was like hand measured and picked out at 685. I don't know. That's the barrel that I want. A single piece stainless steel 14-inch die barrel 685. Those are cool. They're so heavy that like your gun just doesn't kick because the whole front of the gun weighs more than the back. It's crazy. Yeah, so carbon fiber inserts is weird. Like it's doable. I mean, someone said they didn't see it happening. Yeah, it's doable, but the problem is tolerances. I mean, you're not going to get the carbon fiber that accurate. So, I mean, we got to think when we're talking about barrel inserts, we're talking about 685 to 689. That is 10/100,000ths of an inch difference. 3 thousandth of an inch. Like, that's so small of a difference. Like, that's so microscopically small of a difference that getting carbon fiber to actually, like, be different enough, you're probably not going to happen. Like, I don't think we're going to be able to see carbon fiber get down to the thousandth place. At least not cost effectively. I mean, you might be able to do it for 50 grand to insert, but not cost effectively. But there has been an entire carbon fiber barrel. So about, I mean, some time ago now, probably 15-ish years ago, there was a company called Stiffy. Stiffy was the first carbon fiber barrel manufacturer. And they made a barrel called the Stiffy MF. I don't remember what MF stood for, but it was solid carbon fiber. So the threads and everything, like you'd thread it on, the threads were carbon fiber. It was crazy. I don't really know how they did it. They might have machined the threads and glued the threads on. I'm not quite sure. Metal free. There we go. I was like, I knew it stood for like something that had to do with carbon fiber. There we go. Yeah. Titanium is heavier than aluminum and even more expensive than stainless steel, for sure. And the problem with titanium is it's so hard that the tooling it was required to machine titanium is just super expensive. So it just like eats through tooling. And that's the problem with stainless steel too. I mean, the stainless steel just eats through the tooling. So those metals are so hard comparatively to the aluminum, it's just far more cost prohibitive to actually like do it. There we go, carbide tooling. It's expensive stuff, it's weird, and it's hard to work with. So yeah, there have been titanium barrels. There were the titanium boomsticks. Kind of recently, I think about a year and a half ago, Vintage Paintball kind of remade the titanium boomsticks like one-offs. They were I think they were $400 or $500 for a set. Expensive. Rennick, I would like to say that you know a lot of stuff. I feel that like when I talk about things, you know what I'm talking about. Very few times I would say that like in the chat or people that listen to could like riff on as many random weird topics. And I noticed that you are very attentive and could do probably the same. I just, throwing that out there. Anyway, I don't know what to talk about, guys. We do have coming out kind of soon. There is a carbon paintball video coming out. A sponsored video that we're making money off of by doing. So carbon's super cool for helping that, making that happen. Carbon paintball. Got a carbon paintball video coming out. There's a video I want to do that's like best, maybe like my recommendations for 2020 or like the stuff that I liked the most in 2019. Not like this was brand new and released this time, but like this is my favorite mechanical gun this year. Even if it was released 50 years ago, this is my favorite mechanical gun, and this is my favorite tank and hopper. There are more paintball question times coming. I wrote some of those up today. ACP freak tip. I don't know about the ACP tip. I don't know how I would do that. I hate barrels. I hate talking about barrels. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily do that one. Someone just said something. Brap life. There's definitely 2 pant videos. We're going to have the JT team pant review. There's an HK Army track pant review. Got a lot of videos like in the works that are going to come out soon. So hopefully. Yeah. Thoughts on the new Vapor? I don't know. I'd stay away from that thing. So I'm not quite sure. Keep your distance from the Vapor stuff. I would say that a good rule of thumb when you're doing anything, right, is sticking with manufacturers that have a track record is always good. So the bigger manufacturers, right, like Empire, Dye, and Planet Eclipse, and like Luxes, and like MacDev even, and staying with those companies are probably things that I would recommend, Just because we know that their guns have worked in the past, there's some sort of track record. And the track record on the Vapor paintball guns from Machine Paintball is not good at all. It's not good. So I would stay away from them. I know that on this channel, I don't like to destroy products and say how bad and awful everything is. I really don't. So I'm not even going to talk about it. Someone asked earlier if I was going to do a vapor review. And if I don't do one, it's because of that reason. It's because like I just don't want to make bad videos and talk shit. I'm kind of over it. So one of the things I want to try to do more on this channel is just be positive and like a better ambassador and role model for paintball we're going to see. So if you have a vapor or you're thinking about buying one, just don't. That's my review. Hey, we run a paint shop and could get merch, shirts, embroidered hats, all that good stuff. Best way to get in touch? Well, I can't afford to purchase any of that stuff. So I don't know. Yeah, yep. It doesn't even matter if I like wanted, if it had to be free. That's the only way I could afford it. Richard says, being an outsider, how would you advise someone new coming into sport to get involved and potentially get into speedball team play? Any tips of guidance? Yeah, that's a hard thing, right? Like, that's a very common question. And like, another thing that I complain about all the time. So my tips for joining a paintball team, because it's very difficult, right? Like there's no set way to do it. It's not like you're, a 10-year-old and you're like, I'm going to be a pro baseball player. So I'm going to go join the little league team and then play winter baseball and then play in high school and then go play in college. There's no like way to do that, right? There's no way to do it. So what I always think, honestly, the only way is knowing people, right? Like when I started paintball, I didn't know anyone and my mom, honestly, introduced me to kids and then we started playing on a paintball team. So it's really just meeting people. I think that if there's two things you could do, there's maybe some Facebook groups that are local, like here in Northern California or Sacramento area. I'm sure there's a Northern California paintball group on Facebook. There's PB Nation. You could look in those groups. And a lot of those times, if there's people looking for teams or maybe they're having tryouts, just posting in that group, hey, is anyone looking for people? Or hey, can I just come out and try to practice with you guys or something like that? And just trying to introduce and meet more people that play paintball, because the more people that are playing tournaments, the more opportunity there's going to be to join a team or whatever. And there's lots of these local teams, right? Like if there's a team local that has multiple teams, right? Like say here, there's 2 of those teams, right? Sacramento, we have Sacramento DMG, and about an hour south, we have the Sacramento Excessive or like Modesto Excessive program. And DMG has like 8 teams, and Excessive's got like 8 as well. So just contacting those people, maybe finding out who's in charge if there's a local group like that, and asking, you guys have tryouts? Or your local paintball field's also a good place to start. Like just ask if there's any local teams, if they know any teams that are looking for people, or yeah. They also have here, Sacramento has at Capitol Edge Paintball Park, there's a meet and greet every year. So there's like, they're like, people looking for teams or whatever, come hang out and meet some people. Yeah. Zach said, just get good during rec play. Yeah, but I don't even think that like, it's about that, right? Like, I don't even think about being good, because it's really not. There are plenty of people on paintball teams that I'm way better than. Even when I wanted to be on a team, there were people on teams that are way better than I was. Because there's no set way to do this, right? We're not just analyzing performance. It's not like, we're in college and you can get cut and go to another school because you're not good enough for this one. So a lot of these teams, like, it's who you know and just being friends with people. So I don't even know if it's about being good. Sometimes it is, obviously, but it is really about who you know. I feel like MagTech magnets would just end up slapping the back of my legs. Maybe. I don't know. Yep, Colin said paintball IQ over skill in the higher divisions, in my opinion. Yeah, for sure. That's every sport, though. I mean, we could look at hockey and basketball and baseball and fishing and golf. It's all mental at that spot. Because at some point, like, snap shooting is only going to get so good. So it's like, I really think that, like, most of the, I don't know, maybe not most, because there are some pro players where their skill level is just insane. But yes, most of the time, what's separating the higher level pro teams and the lower division pro teams, like say Red Legion and Dynasty or whatever, compared to like Thunder and like Elevation or something, it's all mental, right? Their Dynasty and Red Legion's preparation and like thinking is levels ahead of those other teams. But that's also because of like, I don't know, experience. Kyle says he just went to the excessive tryouts last weekend and loves how they're formatting it out there at Extreme. Yeah, I was also curious about going to the Extreme tryout or the excessive tryouts. No, I don't want to play it. I was going to like film it and stuff. And I was looking at like, I don't know if they ever announced the final day for the tryouts, so I wanted to try to go to the final day. Problem is I got work on Sundays, so I got to like figure that out. I got to make Corey work for me. Corey, you want to work next Sunday? Corey, if you're in here, let me know. Probably not. January 11th, Extreme. Man, that's like the same week. That's like a week after Capital Edge, I think, right? Let's open a calendar real quick on this computer. Yeah, I think that's the week after. The 11th is a Saturday. Maybe I know because I saw that they were doing tryouts on Saturdays and Sunday for different divisions. I don't know. We'll double check. 11th though. 11th sounds about right. Well, it's being around. Get climate change. Well, global warming real. I don't know if global warming is real. Well, of course global warming is real. Nope, the climate has never changed. Ever. What are your thoughts about the Combine? Combine, I don't know. It's cool. If I was young, into paintball and lived on the East Coast, I sure would want to go. It looks like a lot of fun. Other than that, I don't know. Capital Edge Paintball Park or West Coast Adventure, which is better? I played at West Coast, but not Capital Edge. Should I consider changing? No. Well, I don't know. I mean, consider it, sure. I mean, it's never a bad thing. They're just so different. I think that Capital Edge, it's just so different. Yeah. I mean, if you want to play in the woods, Capital Edge is awful because there's no woods, So if you want to play like smaller fields that are faster paced, I think Capital Edge is awesome. If you live across the street from Capital Edge, then Capital Edge is the best. So, yeah, it really depends. They're just so dramatically different. And in this area, right, in Northern California, in Sacramento, you are so fortunate to have many different paintball fields. So I would just go to them, right, and you'll quickly find out which ones you like the most. That's what I would do. Because there's people in this chat who probably drive 2 hours to go to one field, And Capital Edge is 15 minutes away from West Coast. So I'd try them out and just see which one you like the most. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're flying from Europe to go to Combine? Well, that just shows your dedication, right? That's why I was like, if I was on the East Coast. Because I don't want to do it if I'm not. And I couldn't have afforded it, right? When I would have wanted to do Combine, I'd have been like 17, 18 years old, and I couldn't have afforded to fly across the country to go to just do that. So I was not going to do that. Joker, have I been to Fairfield Extreme? Yeah, I haven't been to Fairfield in so long, though, that I don't really know. I can't really, I don't know. I can't really comment on it just because I haven't been there in so long, Mm-hmm. You know what's funny is I can click this ad button and like make you guys watch an ad. I think. I'm not quite sure what just happened. Who knows? Uh-oh. We are having problems. I don't know. I think we're back. I think it's back. So don't hit that button. I just crashed. We just crashed it. I saw this like ad button earlier, and I thought I'd hit it and see what happened. So don't hit that. I don't know. The only reason I really came back is because I just wanted to say bye. We're already been doing this for like an hour and 20 minutes, so I was gonna cut out anyway. Yep. I don't know. It wasn't YouTube. I don't know what actually happened there. We might try to crash it again and see what happens. We hit that ad button, and then like it crashed the software on the another computer though. So I don't know really quite how that happened. Yeah. I did get that. I did. I didn't know it was going to happen. That's the first time I ever hit that button. It just says insert ad. Too bad it makes the computer not work. It makes the computer not work. Okay, guys. I appreciate everybody who comes by here. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for Super Chat. And again, check this channel out. If anyone's like, you got lots of free time on your hands, maybe you don't. I mean, we're done talking about that. We're gonna talk about that. Maybe you got a lot of free time. You want to watch some more paintball clips? You can go subscribe to that channel, Ruined Clips, where you can find more of this paintball stuff. So we're gonna end up putting some of that on there. We're gonna put like this paint clip we talked about earlier. Maybe that GoSports stuff on there. Go find that. You guys enjoy your weekend. It's Friday night. Go live it up. I'm gonna go walk the dog and then watch basketball. I have to hit this end